Hey guys, we're here in Southfield, Michigan again. This is kind of my area. This is kind of my spot. I'm actually at Southfield Library / Southfield Pavilion. And today we're going to be talking about the word velvet and how in life, a lot of times we find ourselves desiring the velvety, comfortable, soft, silkiness, desire. To want things to be easy, to want things to be comfortable, remain in our comfort zone. I find myself every day feeling like I want to remain in my bed. I actually have a silk pillow and it's got that velvety softness to it that it stays nice and cold while I'm sleeping. And I feel like we all deal with that in different areas of our life. Maybe it is your bed. Maybe it's your desire to stay on your phone when you should be using your phone to make videos, or using your phone to text a family member knowing that you should interact with them more. Maybe your thing is you spend money, you go shopping all the time, and you use that in order to excuse yourself from the things you know you're supposed to be doing. Think about the things that you got hidden in the back of your mind that you don't address, the things you got hidden in the back of your mind that you do not handle and take care of, that you don't deal with. And they kind of weirdly sit in the back of your mind. They're kind of like that dirty room that you come home to and it just stresses you out a little bit. Maybe you just can't focus. Maybe you try to do some homework in your bedroom and you just can't focus. You can't put your mind to that science project. You can't put your mind to that math assignment because your mind's cluttered. And I believe that is true to an extent. We've seen those scientifically proven little articles. We've seen those scientifically proven little videos where they're saying how the room that you sleep in, that you get ready in, is a reflection of your mind oftentimes. But to a degree, I think that's true. I think that there's also artists where their creative mind kind of shows through their room. And you'll find that a lot of them often know exactly where everything is. And if you were to come in the room and set things straight, organize it the way it's supposed to, you would quickly see that they have a system, and they remember where everything is, and they prefer things that way because it fosters that creative mind. But let's get creative now. How are you remaining in those comfort zones? How am I remaining in those comfort zones? What are the things that you've always known you wanted to do? You always known that you had within you, but you haven't stepped out to do it. You said, maybe it's not for me. Well, that's the weird thing. You wonder if maybe it's not for you, but at the same time, it's something that's yearning within you. It's a desire that's sitting down deep within you. And for you to even question if that's something that you're meant to do is you denying yourself from something that's genuinely within you. How do you know God didn't put that desire within you? How do you know God didn't call you to that thing? Sometimes God calls you to a specific thing just because he wants us to grow in that area, just because he wants to see us succeed and wants to see us move through maturity of our life. How much can you going after that dream, going after that goal, actually mature you and get you more in reliance with God, and also for you to see the man and woman that he meant you to be? Think about that. Think about the purpose that he has for you, and you don't even know the end goal. You don't know where exactly that's going to end you up, but you're seeing yourself as seeing yourself as the old creature, seeing yourself as your past mistakes, seeing yourself as that couch potato, that bedhead person that's just lazy. But if you constantly see yourself as that, maybe you won't see that maybe you're not so lazy. Maybe you don't really deal with the problem of laziness. Maybe what you deal with is fear of failure, and that's causing you to be lazy because your fear of failure rationalizes to you that you should not take action, rationalizes to you and allows you to have an excuse for you to not do something. And then the laziness is just a cool cover. It's just a cool cover because you do wake up with these desires to step out of yourself, these desires to be more than what you are. But then you say, oh, I'm just feeling lazy. But when you go and look in the mirror, you realize and you know that it is indeed a fear of failure. But maybe for some people, maybe you're the person where it's a fear of winning. Maybe it's a self-sabotage. You don't actually want to win. Maybe you're a little afraid that if you win, you won't be able to handle, you won't be able to deal. And I'll tell you this, you won't. You know why? Because it's not even about you. It's not about your specific abilities. It's about your reliance on God. It all comes back to this. But you have to step out and make the choices. You have to choose to break out of the comfort zone. But know this, you have a hand to hold when you step out of that comfort zone. There's a God that is with you in every moment, that is here with me, even walking me through this process of developing these videos, walking me through a process of even coming out here tonight, even when I didn't feel like it. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I made a choice. I'm in a weird place. I've made a choice, and God has helped me to get to this place where I would be able to do something like this. But it takes a leap of faith. It takes me realizing that I'm not so lazy. Let's get down to the truth. Let's get real here. Let's get down to the real. You're not a lazy person. Maybe you're afraid that if you try, you'll fail. And maybe you're afraid that if you try, you would win and you wouldn't be able to continue doing it. That's not something you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the next win and the next win and the next win. Let God worry about that. Let God worry about your end goal, your purpose. Just focus on what you're doing now. Each moment of each day with God is kind of like a project. And if you just focus fully on it, He'll take you through it. Where we get mistaken is we take our eye off the ball, off the project, off the program, the current program, and we get lost in past programs. I wasn't good in that program. This is a new program. I wasn't able to match up in that program. This is a new program. I don't think I can continue to do as good as maybe I'm doing now in this program in the future. I don't think I can carry that forward in the future. Future tripping. Not realizing that you're putting yourself in a position that's cutting off the now, the possibilities in the now, the possibilities for you to grow in reliance with the Father, the possibilities for you to see Him more in your situation, see Him more in you, and for that birthing to happen, that birthing of your maturity to happen, that birthing of your purpose to happen. Think about your whole life as really a birth. This is the small part of our existence because after life, after life, we step into eternity. This is just the 9 months of being in the incubator, being in the womb. But the decisions you make while you're being developed, the one that you trust in while you're being developed, is what directly affects how well the afterlife, the eternity looks. Because we do step into eternity after this. And it's going to either reflect a hell or a heaven. Think about how you're in the moment feeling that fear of failure. but you're also at the same time subjecting yourself to that fear of failure at the same time. You're giving that to yourself in the moment. And in that moment, we have the same power as that subjecting to also subject ourselves to encouragement, subject ourselves to edification of self, to building up yourself. Maybe you pray for yourself. Maybe you say, I thank you, God, that I am more than a conqueror. I thank you, God, that I am mighty in you. I thank you that my weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty for pulling down strongholds. Maybe you begin to encourage yourself. That's a choice you can make in each moment. And I'd say this, that choice you make in each moment is a reflection of what your life will look like after death. Because what is our life other than the present moment? We think about the past, we think about the future, but we never get to it. And that's actually real. We only have the present. And that's a weird thing for a Christian to talk about. But it's a true thing. And in the secular world, there's constant talk of, oh, get in the present moment, meditation, mindfulness meditation. But I'll tell you this, the idea of presence, realizing that in every single moment you have a choice, you have that free will, because you're not given free will in the past. The decisions for the past have already been made, and you can't make a decision for the future. You can only make a decision for today in support of the future. So make a decision for today. That's my call to action. I don't do those, but think about how this moment reflects the afterlife. This moment reflects your life. If you're in the moment feeling like, I don't like my life, I don't like myself, that is a reflection of your life. And think about how much power you have to actually change that. Maybe you say to yourself, for once, I love you. Even if it feels uncomfortable, I love myself. Maybe you encourage yourself to go and make that video. Maybe you encourage yourself to go take up those classes that you always were interested in taking. You take those leaps of faith. You apply for that job that you never thought that you would measure up to getting. Those things. Every single moment is that chance. You should take great seriousness of the moment that you're in. Whether it's gossiping, whether it's negative talk, complaining, just the overall lack of gratitude. I was at a Bible study, and me and my friends were talking about Job and how he accepted the circumstances that God gave him in the second chapter. He just accepted the circumstances that God had gave him. But I think that there's an even deeper layer beyond that than acceptance. But I think that that's the start. Can you thank God for the circumstances that he has given you? Because that's powerful. Can you thank God for the circumstances that he's putting you through? Because that requires faith, that requires trust. You actually trusting that he's not just subjecting you to something, but he has a reason. There's a reason for a season, for the season, we say. He has a reason. And that requires true faith and thankfulness for you to thank God for the pain that you deal with, because you know that he has a reason for it, that his love is behind it. Thank you.